Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News Broadcast. 联合早报 reports that South Korean President Jae-myung and U.S. President Donald Trump held a telephone conversation on Sunday, May 17th, to discuss the outcomes of the U.S.-China summit. During the call, President Trump shared with Jae-myung the results of his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The discussion encompassed several key areas, including U.S.-China relations, economic and trade agreements, the situation on the Korean Peninsula, and the evolving Middle East crisis. President Lee acknowledged the constructive nature of Trump and Xi's talks regarding Korean Peninsula affairs and reiterated South Korea's desire for close cooperation with the U.S. to foster peace and stability in the region. Furthermore, Jae-myung emphasized that stable management of U.S.-China relations is crucial for global and regional peace and prosperity. The leaders also reviewed the smooth implementation of their bilateral trade agreement signed last year, indicating ongoing efforts to strengthen their economic ties. APEC. Economies convened in Shanghai this week to push forward key trade and investment priorities, as reported by Antara. This meeting was a preparatory step for the upcoming ministers responsible for trade meeting scheduled for May 22-23 in Suzhou. Discussions primarily revolved around fostering economic integration, strengthening supply chain resilience, advancing digital trade, and reducing cross-border trade barriers. Officials specifically explored ways to enhance cross-border trade flows through paperless initiatives, digital customs procedures, and improving the interoperability of digital trade systems. Julio Chan, chair of the APEC Committee on Trade and Investment, highlighted the ongoing economic uncertainty and trade challenges, emphasizing the critical need for closer cooperation among member economies. The APEC Business Advisory Council, ABE, also urged economies to lower trade and logistics costs, bolster infrastructure connectivity, and ease restrictions on digital commerce to ensure predictable trade conditions and resilient regional supply chains. Yasser Abbas, the 64-year-old businessman's son of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, has been elected to Fatah's highest leadership body, the Central Committee. This development emerged from the movement's 8th General Conference held in Ramallah, marking its first such gathering in a decade. The conference took place as Fatah faces significant challenges following Israel's genocidal war on Gaza and mounting international pressure for Palestinian Authority reforms. Despite spending most of his time in Canada, Yasser Abbas secured a place on the committee, having served as his father's special representative for about 5 years. Popular leader Marwan Barghouti, currently imprisoned by Israel, and incumbent Secretary General Jibril Rajoub, along with Vice President Hussein al-Sheikh, also retained their seats. This news comes from Al Jazeera, which notes that while the election secures Yasser Abbas a future political position, it doesn't guarantee a direct path to the presidency, as his father remains firmly in command. 联合早报 reports that rising living costs and inflationary pressures are significantly impacting Hispanic voters in the United States, leading to a decline in support for President Trump as midterm elections approach. A recent CNN poll indicates that 7 out of 10 respondents are dissatisfied with Trump's handling of the economy, and over 70% disapprove of his approach to inflation and fuel prices. Furthermore, 77% of those surveyed believe the president's policies have contributed to rising prices. The article highlights that this economic discontent is particularly acute within the Hispanic community. Michael Negron, a senior fellow at the Center for American Progress and former White House economic advisor, notes that inflation affects Hispanic households more severely because a larger proportion of their income is spent on essential items like food, energy, and transportation. For many, like Esmeralda Ruston, a Dominican-American home health aide, the escalating costs of groceries, rent, and transport make it increasingly difficult to manage daily expenses and support family abroad. This dissatisfaction with Trump's economic policies, including tariffs, large-scale deportations, and the Iran war, is seen as a crucial factor potentially influencing the upcoming midterm election results. Asahi Shimbun reports that Iran plans to introduce a specialized mechanism and vessel insurance for ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, amidst ongoing tensions and the Strait's blockade. According to Ebrahim Azizi, chairman of the Iranian Parliament's National Security Committee, this new system, aimed at ensuring national sovereignty and trade safety, will soon be unveiled and involve collecting fees for specialized services. Fars News, a media outlet close to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, further detailed that the vessel insurance scheme would accept premiums in Bitcoin, potentially generating $10 billion in revenue for Iran. This development comes at a critical time, as reports suggest that the United States and Israel are considering resuming attacks on Iran, indicating an unpredictable and escalating situation in the region. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.